one more thing I wanted to show you about is buttons. Let's just show how you can make buttons do things. Okay. So you provide an on-click. And then you provide a function name. Okay, so let's provide, let's call it handle click. Okay, you don't call it, but you just provide it, and it complains because it doesn't exist. So you can actually, if you want, generate, that's not what I want. I can actually create a function called handle click, and I can actually make it in this function or global. Let's just make it global. Okay. And now what I want to do, I'm just to do something simple to show that this actually happens. So let's just say button was clicked. So we can see button was clicked. By the way, this 6 here just means that button was clicked, that string happened 6 times in a row. Okay, so what have we seen? We've looked and seen that in React, we're using JSX, right, which is this templating language for creating HTML, which is basically HTML in which we can embed JavaScript. We've seen that in React, what we do is specify that we want to apply some JSX to a particular div element. Usually that happens only once. In our case, as we're still learning, we're doing it every couple of seconds. We've seen that if you have, we've seen that the JSX actually gets saved from one invocation of render to the next invocation of render, and then it goes ahead and looks at the diff of that and applies the diff to the DOM. We've seen that in order to do the diff correctly for things like list items, right, where we have this dynamically generated content, that we want to provide a key. Right? Whenever we get an error in the console that says we should have keys, you want to put the keys in. And the reason for that is otherwise it's extremely expensive because it requires it to regenerate possibly all of the list items. And so this allows us to account for things like deleting list items or moving list items. And so it can use those capabilities of the DOM that allows us to move DOM elements and use that to manipulate the DOM in order to get our final desired result. So we'll still get our final desired result even though we don't put in a key. It's just going to be slow. Okay, we don't want slow. What else have we seen? We've seen that we can go ahead and we've seen the use of map, and we also saw the use of conditional rendering. So where we had a value and we, do some Boolean expression. So something like that. Okay, but we actually put in some sort of constant here. So basically, this div will only be included if this Boolean expression is true. All right, that's what we've seen.